Hello everyone and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Dawn Polly from D Polly Designs and I'm so glad you could join me. Today I'm using the Spellbinder Peony background press plate. This plate measures approximately 5 3/4 inches by 4.5 inches, so it's just slightly bigger than an A2 size card base, and it has beautiful details to it. I'm pairing it up with the Spellbinders Letterpress Let's Celebrate sentiments. I love how you get multiple sentiments for all different occasions, and it also comes with phrases as well. Then you get the dies to cut out the sentiments, which is really nice. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is lay my sentiments out on the magnetic base of the Spellbinder letterpress system. I'm just spacing out the sentiments because I will be cutting them out afterwards with the dies, and I want to make sure I leave enough room between each sentiment so the dies don't overlap each other. I also am going to try to make sure that the ones that are phrases are straight so that I can trim them down later with my trimmer. I'm using the black letterpress ink that came with the system. I will say that you should get a re-inker for the ink pads because they do kind of dry out faster than a regular ink pad. I make sure to put a lot of ink down so that I only have to run it through my die cut machine one time. Sometimes if you don't put enough ink, you have to do it again. Then I just tape my letterpress cotton cardstock to the cover plate and I put it on top of the magnetic base and I run it through my Spellbinder Platinum 6 die cut machine. And I very gently take off the cover plate and look at how beautiful these sentiments came out. I just love how they look. Okay, now I'm going to make an ombre background. I'm using the Cosmic Sky and Hydrangea inks today. First, I put the Cosmic Sky across the top, and then in the next row, I'm going to put the Hydrangea. I keep alternating between colors until I get to the bottom of the plate. I do want to point out that my plate is red because I used it to make a red background, but there is no ink on it at all, and my plate is totally fine. It's not ruined or anything. Once my background is completely covered, I tape my cotton cardstock onto the cover plate and place it over the magnetic plate, and then I run it through my Spellbinder die cut machine again. I gently take off the cover plate and look at how beautiful this background came out. I just love it. This is probably one of my favorite backgrounds. Okay, let's do this one more time. This time I'm using the black ink. I want to point out that I am really putting a lot of the black ink, making sure to get good coverage everywhere so that I only have to run it through the die cut machine once. I think the black is more noticeable if you miss a spot. And then I do the same process. I run it through the die cut machine and look at how beautiful this came out. I think it's just gorgeous. Okay, now let's cut out our sentiments. The dies fit really nice around the sentiments. You're not going to struggle to get them to fit. I've used other dies like that before where you're not even sure which way they go, and these just cut out so nice. And then I just trim the phrases down with my trimmer, and if you line them up straight on the letterpress system, you should be able to trim them down fairly easy. Next, I'm going to trim the ombre background down to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just taking a little bit off of each side to keep the flowers centered, though I don't think it really matters since the whole background is flowers. That's just what I'm doing. I adhere a piece of craft foam on the back of the peony background, and then I adhere the entire card front to a piece of blue cardstock because I wanted to make a border around the background. I put foam tape on the back of the happy sentiment and adhere it to the front of the card. And then to finish off this card, I adhere it to an A2 size card base. And that's basically going to complete this first card. Look at how nice it came out, and it was so quick and easy to make. Now let's finish the black background. I'm using the Nuvo Elementary Midtone watercolor pencils to color in my flowers. I'm only going to color in one flower to show you what I did because all the flowers will be colored in the exact same way. I'm using the color Bright Honeysuckle, and I'm basically putting it randomly on the flower, just adding a little bit of color because then I'm going to spread it out with the water pen. And I just am going to squeeze a little bit of the water out, and then I'm going to drag the color to the end of the petals. And I just basically go through and do this for the entire flower. And these watercolored pencils, they really are very smooth and they spread really nice, and I just love using them. Next, I take the English Ivy color for my green, and I do the same thing. I just put some of the green down on the leaves, and actually you don't need a lot for the leaves because they're just so small. And then I use the water pen to spread the colored pencil out. And that's basically how I colored my entire background. Once I was finished with my background, I decided I wanted a little more contrast on the flowers because I wanted them to look two-toned. I felt like there was just too much pink on the flowers. So all I did was take a white colored pencil. I'm using the Prismacolor Premier White, and I'm basically coloring over the tips of the pink flowers and making them look more like a light pink instead of the edges being as dark as they were. And it comes out really nice. And I go through and I do the entire background like this. When I'm done with the background, I trimmed it down to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I adhered craft foam onto the back of it. And then I adhered the entire card front to a piece of black cardstock to make a border around the background. And then I adhered the entire card front to an A2 size card base. And I put foam tape on the back of the Happy Mother's Day sentiment, and then I adhered that to the front of the card. I decided I wanted to add a little bit of bling to the card, so to finish both of them off, I took some of the Spellbinder self-adhesive black pearl enamel dots, and I just put them randomly on the card to give the card some accent. And that's basically going to complete my cards for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me use the peony background to make two different backgrounds for you, and I hope it gives you some of your own inspiration. I want to thank you for joining me on the Scrapbook Pal YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the cards. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the Scrapbook Pal YouTube channel and their other social media platforms so you don't miss out on any great inspirational videos. Also, check out their website for any new releases they might have. And as always, I want to thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.